Welcome friends, welcome to all final year mechanical engineering students. We are going to teach you applied thermal engineering this semester. So in applied thermal engineering, you are basically going to understand and appreciate the applications in major fields of mechanical engineering technology, notably in steam and nuclear power plants. At the same time, you're also going to study uses of boilers, boiler mountings, which are the integral parts of the boiler, and boiler accessories, which are used to improve the performance of the boiler, compressors, heat exchangers, steam turbines, refrigeration, and air conditioning. So you are basically going to study the extended version of basic thermal engineering, what you have studied previous semester. Now we are going to introduce you steam formation, how the steam is formed, which is used in boilers in the power plants. So let us understand how the steam is formed. There are 5 stages in the diagram, you can see. So we are taking water at 0 degree centigrade. Water at 0 degree centigrade is taken, then it is heated till the boiling point is reached. Till the boiling point is reached, water is heated. That you can see in the second diagram. In the first diagram, water is there at 0 degree centigrade. Continue the heating, the temperature of the water becomes its boiling point. The boiling point is also known as saturation temperature, that is TS. TS is the saturation temperature, which is nothing but the boiling point of water. At atmospheric pressure, the boiling point is 100 degree centigrade. Now, continue heating of water. You can see the volume of the water increases here. Again, the volume of the water increases, but the temperature remains constant in this stage. In this stage, the temperature remains constant because you have reached the boiling point of water in the previous stage. Once you reach the boiling point, the temperature remains constant until all the water here is going to be converted into steam. So here in the third diagram, you can see the wet steam. Wet steam means the water particles are also there in the suspension along with the steam. It is to be noted that the temperature, which is saturation temperature, remains constant until all the water at its boiling point is converted into dry steam. So you continue heating, but temperature remains constant. This is seen in the fourth diagram, that is a dry saturated steam. You continue the heating of wet steam, it becomes dry steam. In dry steam, there are no water particles in suspension. Only the volume increases, temperature remains constant. Now, further you continue the heating, the dry steam is converted into superheated steam, which has got a lot of energy. So again, the volume increases. Here in steam formation, we are considering water at 0 degree centigrade in piston and cylinder arrangement. If you keep on heating water, the volume of water and water plus steam, then superheated steam keeps on increasing. The piston moves upwards. You can see that in all the diagrams. So the notations used here are VF stands for volume of water. It is VF. F stands for fluid. Fluid is liquid and gas, but in steam terminology, we refer VF as the volume of liquid. Then here there is TS. You have not come across this TS earlier. TS stands for saturation temperature, which is nothing but the boiling point of water. Then you have T superheated. This notation also you have not come across. T superheated is temperature of the superheated steam. Then there is VG. It is volume of dry steam or volume of saturated steam. Then there is V super, that is volume of superheated steam. So these are the notations used in this diagram. So what I have explained in the steam formation diagrams, we can relook into the same thing again. So when water is heated, the volume of water increases with increase in temperature. When water is heated, volume of water increases with increase in temperature. That is shown in the figure 2 here. This is figure 2. Next, on further heating, water reaches its boiling point. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius at atmospheric pressure of 1.0132 bar. But the boiling point increases with increase in pressure. That means the boiling point is not always 100 degrees centigrade at all the pressures. Only in the places at sea level where the pressure is 1.0132 bar, that is this pressure, only their boiling point is 100 degrees centigrade. So if you increase the pressure, the boiling point also increases. When the boiling point is reached, the temperature remains constant and water is evaporated. At this stage, steam will have water particles in suspension, and such a steam is known as wet steam. That is shown in the figure 3 here. It is figure 3 which shows the wet steam. Continue the heating of wet steam, then all the water particles are converted into dry steam or dry saturated steam. In dry steam, there are no water particles. That is shown in figure 4 of the previous diagram. That is this diagram. This is the figure 4. Here you can see the dry saturated steam. On further heating of the dry steam, it is converted into superheated steam with increase in temperature. This last point you have to note. You continue heating of the dry steam, then temperature increases. Because already the steam is in dry condition in the previous stage. So superheated steam is here. This is the superheated steam. You can see the last stage is superheated steam. Temperature is T superheated. Temperature increases. So this is the formation of steam under constant pressure. Now, the steam formation at constant pressure can be best understood by this graph of temperature versus heat addition. In x-axis, there is heat addition. in y-axis there is temperature. That is, in x-axis you can see you are continuing the heat addition process. In y-axis you can see the temperature increasing. So this graph will tell you how the steam is formed. I will start from point A. At point A, we have got 1 kg of water at 0 degree centigrade. At point A, we have got 1 kg of water at 0 degree centigrade. Continue the heating of water. Continue the heating of water. Its temperature increases here up to saturation temperature. That is, this is the saturation temperature. It is nothing but the boiling point of water. So if you continue the heating of water, you will reach the saturation temperature. Here you have got water at boiling point. Now continue the heating of this water at saturation temperature. You can see now the line BC shows that the temperature remains constant. The temperature remains constant because all the water is getting converted into steam up to this point. All the water is getting converted into steam during this stage. So the temperature remains constant. Once all the water is converted into steam, now the temperature increases, as you can see in the line CD. So in line CD, the temperature is increasing. So you have to understand the line AB, the line BC and the line CD properly to know the steam formation. In line AB, water is heated from 0 degree centigrade up to its boiling point. Once you reach the boiling point or saturation temperature, further heating will not increase the temperature. Here, all the water is converted into steam. In this zone, there is wet steam, and once you reach the point C, it is dry steam. Continue the heating of this dry steam, it becomes superheated steam, and the temperature of that steam is T superheated, that is temperature of superheated steam. So this is the steam formation at constant pressure, and the graph is temperature versus heat addition or temperature versus enthalpy. You can see there are 3 different zones here. This zone is water zone, the AB zone. It is, you have got water phase, and between this zone BC, that is this zone, you have got wet steam, and once you reach point C, it is dry steam. Then it becomes superheated steam here. Okay. The same thing can be explained. Whatever I have told now is explained in this graph once again. Temperature versus enthalpy. So you can get the explanation here. 1 kg of water at 0 degree Celsius is heated at constant pressure. Heating is continued up to boiling temperature Ts. That is this Ts. The heat absorbed by water is known as sensible heat, HF, line AB. HF andre, HF means this line AB. So heat absorbed by water during this phase is known as sensible heat, briefed as SH, and it is denoted by HF in your steam tables. H stands for enthalpy of the steam and F stands for fluid. Water is considered as fluid. So the heat required to convert 1 kg of water at 0 degree centigrade into the water up to its boiling point is known as sensible heat. Next, addition of the heat will make the temperature constant during that. That is shown by the line BC. The water starts evaporating, but temperature remains constant. It is shown by a line BC. The heat is absorbed during this process is called as latent heat of vaporization. So whatever heat is added during this phase is called LH, that is latent heat of vaporization, and it is denoted by the term HFG. At this stage, water particles are there in the steam and it is known as wet steam. That is the stage between B and C. There are water particles in suspension and it is known as wet steam. Next, the wet steam here during this stage, it is converted into dry steam. The point C represents dry steam. Then on further heating of the dry steam, that is here you have got dry steam. If it is further heated, it becomes the superheated steam. You can see the temperature is increasing to superheated steam temperature, and this is shown by the line CD. So in this temperature versus enthalpy graph, point A represents water of 1 kg at 0 degree centigrade. Point A represents water of 1 kg at 0 degree centigrade. Point B represents 1 kg of water at its boiling point. Still you have got water only at point B. So this zone is, this triangle, this particular zone is liquid line. Between B and C, you have got wet steam. At C, you have got dry steam. At D, point number D, or beyond point number C, up to this line, it is superheated steam. So there are three zones I have shown here. One is a sensible heat, that is heat required to convert 1 kg of water to 1 kg of water at its boiling point. That is sensible heat. Then you have got latent heat, the heat required to convert 1 kg of water at boiling point into steam at saturation temperature. That is known as latent heat of vaporization. Then you have got this T super minus Ts. T super minus Ts is saturation, superheated steam temperature minus saturated steam temperature. This is known as degree of superheat. Degree of superheat. So this is the temperature versus enthalpy diagram for steam formation at constant pressure. Now we will see the same temperature versus enthalpy diagram. This is temperature is x-axis, enthalpy is heat addition at constant pressure. The same graph we can see at different pressures. In the previous diagram, we have seen the TH diagram at constant pressure. You can increase the pressure. See, the only difference between previous diagram and this diagram is you are taking water at room temperature. This is room temperature. You cannot have water at 0 degree centigrade all the time. The feed water temperature most of the times in boiler is room temperature. So this particular diagram is showing the water at its room temperature. Continue heating, that is water heating is continued. You will reach saturation temperature. Then there is evaporation. During evaporation, the temperature remains constant. After evaporation is fully completed, the temperature then increases. You have got superheating steam, superheated steam. Here you have got wet steam in this zone. So here, if you increase the pressure, what happens? If you keep on increasing this pressure, the sensible heat increases and latent heat decreases. That can be seen when the pressure increases. Okay. So again, in this diagram, we are showing sensible heat for this zone denoted by HF in your steam tables. Then there is HFG, that is latent heat, HFG. Then there is degree of superheat. Okay. Now there are some important terms related to steam formation. We have already seen sensible heat of water, that is denoted by HF. It is defined as quantity of heat absorbed by 1 kg of water when it is heated from 0 degree centigrade to the boiling point. It is also called as total heat of water or liquid heat. That is indicated by the term HF. HF is here. This is HF. So this is sensible heat. It is amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of water at 0 degree centigrade to 1 kg of water at boiling point. It is sensible heat denoted by HF. Now, there is another important term, latent heat or hidden heat. One more term is there for latent heat of vaporization, that is hidden heat. Hidden because the temperature remains constant when you are heating water. It is the amount of heat required to convert water at a given temperature. This given temperature is nothing but the saturation temperature and pressure into steam at the same temperature and pressure. It is expressed by the symbol HFG in our steam tables. So what is latent heat is? It is nothing but amount of heat required to convert water into steam at saturation temperature. You can see that here in this diagram, temperature is constant. That is why it is called hidden heat. Temperature doesn't increase here during this stage, and here also. You can say during evaporation, temperature does not change. It remains constant. Therefore, it is latent or hidden heat. Then there is most important term in our steam technology, that is dryness fraction or quality X. Dryness fraction, it is a term which will tell you about the quality of the steam. If the steam is wet, you will have one type of dryness fraction. If the steam is dry, you will have another type of dryness fraction. So basically the term dryness fraction tells you the quality of the steam. So it is related to wet steam. It is defined as, we have mathematically defined dryness fraction as X is equal to mass of dry steam, mg stands for mass of dry steam, divided by total mass of the steam. Total mass of the steam is mass of dry steam, that is mg, plus mass of fluid. So dryness fraction is the ratio of total mass of dry steam to the total mass of steam. Total mass of steam means it has got weight of dry steam plus weight of water particles. Okay, it is usually expressed by the term or symbol X. If the value of X is less than 1, then we say that it is wet steam. If the value of X is equal to 1, then we say that it is dry steam. Okay, so this is an important term in the steam technology and boilers. For dry steam and superheated steam, the value of dryness fraction is 1. Some important definitions we will see now. We have already defined sensible heat. Many times I have defined. How to calculate that? calculation of sensible heat. You have to note that sensible heat means, you have seen the definition, conversion of water at 0 degrees Celsius up to its saturation or boiling point. So whatever heat is required to do that, that is known as sensible heat. Calculation is M mass of water, Cw is the specific heat of water, into change in temperature we should write. Here I have written T as the boiling point of water, minus 0 I have written because we have started the steam formation explanation with water at 0 degrees centigrade. So basically sensible heat is mCdT equation. M is mass, C is specific heat, dt is change in temperature. So here in this equation, M is the mass of water, Cw is the specific heat of water, and T is the temperature of water when it reaches the boiling point, and 0 is its temperature in the beginning, that is at 0 degrees centigrade. So this is the calculation method for sensible heat. Then you should also calculate latent heat. Latent heat cannot be calculated. It is obtained directly from the steam tables. From the steam tables, you can find the latent heat, that is HFG. Then you can calculate the heat required to convert superheated steam. For that, we have this equation. Heat required to convert superheated steam is H superheated is equal to HF plus HFG. HF is sensible heat of water. HFG is the latent heat plus specific heat of superheated steam into change in temperature. Change in temperature is T super minus Ts. So superheated steam is formed and heat required to convert 1 kg of water into 1 kg of superheated steam is calculated by this equation. HF plus HFG is the heat required to convert water into dry steam. Then once you reach the steam, it is specific heat into change in temperature. Here mass is not appeared in the equation because we have considered 1 kg of water. So definition, you can see here, when steam is heated after it has become dry and saturated, it is called superheated steam, and the process of heating is called superheating. Superheating is always carried out at constant pressure. The additional amount of heat supplied to the steam during superheating is called the total heat of superheated steam. And the total heat you can calculate by this equation. Now, we have seen there are 3 different types of zones in our steam formation diagram. There is wet steam, there is dry steam, and then there is superheated steam. So we should be concentrating on calculation of heat required for steam formation. So there are 3 types of steam. There is wet steam, there is dry steam, there is superheated steam. In wet steam, there are water particles in suspension. In dry steam, there are no water particles in suspension. And in superheated steam, again, there are no water particles in suspension. So what is the heat required for converting water into wet steam? For wet steam, heat required is H is equal to HF plus X into HFG. HF is value is obtained in the steam tables corresponding to pressure P. X is the dryness fraction of the steam. HFG is the latent heat of vaporization. Okay. If I go back to this diagram, you can see this is the wet steam zone. So the point we are discussing is heat required to get wet steam. So it is from point A to point C or somewhere between B and C. So it is basically HF, that is this sensible heat plus this HFG. But since it is wet steam, the question of dryness fraction comes. So the equation is this equation. Wet steam, sensible heat plus latent heat of vaporization. So for conversion of wet steam, this equation is to be used. If it is dry steam, H is equal to HF plus HFG. The value of X is equal to 1 for dry steam. So this X is equal to 1. Therefore, I write H is equal to HF plus HFG. For superheated steam, the heat required H is equal to HF plus HFG. That is this expression. Heat required to get dry steam plus mass of the water or steam into specific heat of the superheated steam into change in temperature. This change in temperature is T superheated minus Ts. There is a change in temperature, superheated steam temperature minus saturation temperature. Here you can see that in my graph here, this is superheated steam temperature and this is saturation steam temperature. This difference is the difference between T super minus Ts. This difference in temperature is the difference in temperature for superheated steam. So the final equation for superheated steam, H is equal to HF plus HFG, that is heat required to get dry steam plus mass of water or steam into specific heat of the steam into T superheated, that is temperature of superheated steam minus temperature of saturation temperature. So these are the calculations which you are required to know and remember in the steam formation. So we will understand these terminology in detail when we come to steam tables and also for solving the problems.